Aloha, I'm Patrick Ching, and thank you for joining me on Painting in Paradise. In this episode, we learn about Hawaii's erupting volcanoes and the amazing silversword plants that grow upon them. We'll see how my friend Keith painted a volcano erupting with knives and brushes. We'll have a volcano painting party at the Mokupapapa Discovery Center in Hilo, and witness the creation of art inspired by the work of photographer Durgin and videographer Demian Barrios. Then, I'll show you how to draw the rare silversword plants that grow high on top the volcanic slopes of Mauna and Mauna on Hawaii Island and Haleakalā volcano on Maui. Finally, we'll have a silversword painting party at Frank Shainer's art studio in Kula. Enjoy all this and more on a red-hot silversworded episode of Painting in Paradise! Hawaii's volcanoes have been putting on a spectacular show in recent years. It's all part of the process of building an island chain. The island of Hawaii is currently the center of these volcanic displays, but all Hawaiian islands were originally formed this way. Many artists are enamored with the fierce beauty of these active volcanoes and of Pele, the goddess of fire. Eruptions and lava are hot subjects in historic and contemporary art. My good friend Keith asked me to help him do an oil painting of a volcano erupting. We started by mixing colors for the fountain of lava. Then we went and painted the sky and distant mountains. Our first session was spent covering the entire canvas with paint. And when that was done, we let it dry for about a week. In the next session, we put a thin coat of oil over the dried painting and then began to paint transparent glazing layers over the painting. Keith started by painting a lavender glow around the fountain, and then went to the red, then orange, then yellow, then white as the fire got hotter and more intense. Then it was time to work on the lava flow, and Keith used a combination of knife and brush techniques on this. Keith came back with some black to put some rock islands between the streams. Then it was time to put some juicy, thick paint in the lava flow with a knife. And don't forget your signature! And there you have a beautiful volcano painting done in 2 sessions by Keith Harvey. When we return, we'll join a volcano painting class at the Mokupapapa Discovery Center in Hilo. A great place to learn about the Hawaiian Islands, and especially those of Papahanaumokuakea, is the Mokupapapa Discovery Center in Hilo. It's here that we gather to create art depicting the creation of the islands through volcanic eruptions. As inspiration for their art, participants used the photography of Durgin, the U.S. Geological Survey, and video by Demian Barrios. Native Hawaiian specialist Hoku Pihana presented a Hawaiian oli or chant for the opening protocol.
Aloha! Mahalo nui for being here with us today and sharing this time to embrace the ano and beauty of Pele with Kumu Patrick, who's going to share his artistic talents with us.
We want to paint all the sky, starting light down below.
Sacred islands way out there, born of Papa and Wakea, Papa Hanau, Mokuakea.
We're going to put smoke on top of that, yeah? Touch of that.
Papa is
some brush for perfection in your...
Moku is the name for islands. Akea, the sky father.
Oh, right there, buddy. Nico.
Ancient islands towered high, rising up into the sky. Roaded by wind, rain, and sea, atolls they would someday be. On the Aina, plants would grow. Now Paka.
You want to be in touch with your black and white mind so that everything you paint and look at, nature, you can see it in black and white.
Creatures cross the ocean blue, birds and fish and insects too. Onu monk seal mano ahi, followed by some mahi mahi. Many birds make homes of these, atolls scattered across the sea. Nest in shrubs and on the land, some dig burrows in the sand.
Bounce around dots like that, okay?
Some birds come here for the winter, migrate north for summertime. Akekeke and Kolea, Apahana, Mokuakea. Kohola start reaching, wow, transcending from pole to owl. Giant creatures of the sea come here to Hanaukeki. Ilio Holoika Ua Ua, native seal of Hawaii. Dog that goes in the rough Ua Ua, Apahana, Mokuakea.
When it dries, so there's layers, and the cloud is a layer that kind of goes around the others.
Make and lay their eggs out there. Nest will hatch under Naoku. Hatchlings scramble everywhere. Travel to by ancestors, sacred sites upon the earth. Voyage to by Hokule, Apahana,
Mahalo again to the gang at the Mokupapapa Discovery Center in Hilo for hosting us.
Biankawa'i and Ni'ihau, Nihoa stands tall and proud. Vahipana, sacred places, and Namea Makamai. Past Nihoa, Mokumalamana, island of great spirit power.
By the time we were done, we had painted over a dozen new volcanic eruptions. Beautiful. When we return, I'll show you how to draw a famous and rare plant that grows high on Hawaii's tallest volcanoes, and it's called the silversword. Some of Hawaii's most spectacular flowering plants are the ones known as silverswords. Their Hawaiian name is ahinahina, which literally means very gray or silvery. The ancestors of silverswords are a tarweed native to California that arrived in the islands millions of years ago and evolved into the silverswords we know today. Separate species of silverswords can be found on Haleakalā on Maui and Mauna and Mauna Loa on the Big Island. The silverswords inhabit high altitude zones from around 5 to 10,000 feet in elevation. These amazing plants live from a few years to a few decades old and only bloom once in their lifetime. Their spectacular bloom stalk may be over 6 feet tall and have hundreds of beautiful flowers in them. Alright friends, so now I'm going to show you how I go about drawing a silver sword. And I'm going to do it just like I start any other drawing. I'm going to be pressing softly, forming things up. I'm going to put a little circle right around there for where the base of the silver sword starts. Then I'll put another kind of an oval for where the blossom continues. Okay, so it's going to be like a little explosion right there with the flowers right up there. Now I'm pressing softly when I start. You know, I'm using a pen. You can use a pencil, whatever. But the reason we press softly is because we don't really want to end up seeing these lines. You know, they're just kind of a guide for us. But the little base of the silver sword plant is going to be right there. And I'm going to start by just putting some of these little sprigs, I call them, just like this. Okay, and these are the ones, they're slightly curved like that. And if you put these first, it's going to be kind of nice to draw behind them. Now I'll do a few rows of these, okay? Now I'm not going to put as many as an actual silver sword plant has, because they got a lot. Now that you got it like this, you can start to put some off to the side like that. And just imagine how they would start to look if they started to come right towards you, yeah? Then I'll put in a few sprigs that connect the lower part of the plant to the upper part. Now when we get to the flowers of the silver sword, we can just basically use some circles, and I tell you what, you can kind of arrange them in rows like this. You know, there's a big cluster of flowers. They grow up to like 6 feet tall or something. But you can start by just making kind of a row of circles. Okay, followed by another row and another row. Do you notice how the flowers are kind of more like circles as they're right in the middle, and they get kind of sideways ovals as they go off to the side? And I think that'll be enough for my flowers. Now the top, depending on what stage of bloom this plant is in, the top can have kind of a little bit of a cone shape, or if it's later on along, it's going to get kind of like a spriggly. Spriggly a word? Spriggly a word? I don't know. Is it a word? Yeah. And you can also have these little, I don't know what you call them, but sprigs. I think sprigs is a cool word. Sprigs. And they're just little points, yeah? Kind of like a pineapple shape. All right. Now in the flowers, if you look at a detail of the flower, you can kind of see some little petals of the flower too. You can do that for some of the ones that are up closer, I'd say. And you can also add some little stems, and they're going to kind of start straight up if they're over here, but then they'll kind of go off to the sides like that and sides like that. So straight up in the middle and off to the sides, kind of curved off to the sides, okay? And you can put a little line back there for like the line of the lava or something, you know? Maybe even if you want, you can put a like a distant volcano shape. You could have snow on it, whatever, you know. All right, and now that I've got my silver sword kind of formed up, I'm going to start by outlining some of these little sprigs that are right close, kind of just facing the viewer, yeah? A lot of what's going to make this look like a silver sword is how I go about shading it. And I'll keep these flowers and things right up front, and I'll shade things in the background. I'll keep some of these sprigs kind of white up front, and flowers. Then I'll continue to outline the sprigs, all in their proper directions, and then go to the flowers. I like the flowers. Yeah, little circles and blah, 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 blah. all around them. And the top and the wing wing wing. Mm-hmm. And there you have a drawing of a silversword. You can color your silversword drawing with colors, paints, whatever you got handy, and really bring this beautiful flower to life. When we return, we'll join a silversword painting workshop at Frank Shaner's art studio in Kula, Maui. Now let's go up country to a silversword painting party at Frank Shaner's studio in Kula, Maui. Before the class, Frank and I headed up to the summit of Haleakalā to see if we could see the silverswords.
This is the original silver right here.
Because it's winter time, the silverswords are not blooming, but we did get to see some of the younger plants. And by the way, I'd recommend wearing long pants. And in no time at all, we were ready to get down and get warm and get painting. For those of you who don't know, Frank Shaner is a former radio personality turned funkadelic artist. To enter his studio is like being in a magic garden. And on that note, we started painting. So for the anatomy of the silversword, let's look at what's deep inside and what's furthest out, yeah? In just about everything I'm painting, I'm thinking about what's underneath, what's on top, what's far away and what's closer. What's behind the petals, what's behind the flowers. And let's do that first. And finish off with things like these. That'll be our candy, our reward for working so hard. And after working so hard, the artist had beautiful paintings to show for it.
While walking along by the sea, we walked all the way to the sunset, my beautiful rainbow and me. Beautiful rainbow, beautiful rainbow, my beautiful rainbow and me. Tomorrow I'll marry my rainbow.
After all that painting, we kicked back, enjoyed some good food and company in the presence of our brand new works of art. What did you paint, Frankie?
This is Bobby Silver and Harold Silver, the Silverswords. Nice people.
Mahalo Ricky Guild and Frank Shaner for hosting this silversword painting party. Thank you for joining me on Painting in Paradise. I hope you enjoyed learning about Hawaii's erupting volcanoes and the amazing silversword plants that grow upon them. I'd love to see what you did, so you can send pictures of you and your art to my website at patrickching.com. Aloha.